Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a challenge for me to be creative in the kitchen and to use up what I have. And the area of which I am focused on that has been neglected for a while is my freezer. I am going to look for ways and things in the freezer and try to be creative with recipes and things I can do to use up what I have. This will then help reduce the grocery budget for the week. So I'm thinking about savings, I'm thinking about being creative, and I just get such a rush for using up what I have in a purposeful and creative way. So let's get to it. And if you like what you see and want to see more of it, always hit that subscribe button so then I know keep going. Thanks so much. Let's get to it. Okay, let's check out our freezer situation and what we are working with. This is usually where I put my fruits, and I have a daily harvest left, so one of those left, which is great for a smoothie. Speaking of smoothies, frozen fruit. This is some frozen pineapple, looks like. And it looks like it's starting to get some ice particles on there, and same with, let's see what we got here, mangoes. I bet you that's just an ice block. We got some cherries, and I think even back there we have frozen mixed berries. But over here is our vegetables and our non-meat products. So like these grillers here. And I also have, looks like I got some other plant-based burgers, stir-fried veggies, cauliflower rice, and some mixed veggies. Time to get creative. I think there's some peas down there. Oh goodness. This is something I really want to use up. It's starting to get that freezer look. And this is something I got on sale, just a 99-cent brown and served rolls. I thought these would make great sliders. And then here's our meat section. I have here some pork chops and some chicken legs. This is actually zucchini. Looks to be more ice than zucchini, so we'll have to get creative with that, but it's time to use that up. We got ground beef here, pound each, getting those on sale, and I stock up when I can. And then this drawer here is mostly like appetizers. And I have little sauces I've made or have. This is cilantro pesto, homemade. Got some sauces from these boxes. This is coffee, frozen coffee. Got to use that up. It's time to use up all these sauces and all these little things that have been just in here for way too long. And the key here is not just to use up things, but it's also time to just clean the freezer and have a reset. So this is the pantry, and while it's not horrible, it does need to go through the same process that we're doing for the freezer. But right now for our week, focusing on the freezer, I'm just going to supplement and use up some of the things I have, which I'm looking at this quinoa here, as well as these panko breadcrumbs. So trying to utilize, once again, what I have already that's in our pantry and our freezer to make this week's meals. Okay, our first recipe is going to be country fried steaks with Chipotle gravy, and this is what I had on hand. So we're going to get started with our Chipotle adobo sauce, and what that is a smoky pepper sauce. I did not have it, so I'm using a substitute, starting with heavy whipping cream and with the Tajin seasoning, and then that raspberry Chipotle seasoning that I had on hand. You can mix this with ketchup. You can also mix that with tomato paste if you wanted to. So now my patties, I am making it with the ground beef. I have the buttered round crackers ground up, and then I put that Chipotle paste in that mixture. Now it calls for buttermilk, but I don't have buttermilk, but I do have this cheat. And what you're supposed to do is put a tablespoon of vinegar and then add your regular milk, stir that up, let that sit for a bit. I add 1 egg, and then I put 1/4 of a cup of that buttermilk mixture in with my ground beef, and that is how I start my patties. I'm going to put my patties in the milk and then in the breadcrumbs and then fry them in the pan. I repeat this step, the dredge and flour, buttermilk, breadcrumbs, and fry them up until they're golden brown on both sides and cooked all the way through. And then I'm going to make my gravy. 2 tablespoons of flour to the remaining oil in here. That's going to be so good. The sauce picking up all the flavors. To the pan, I'm going to add a 3/4 cup of beef broth. We're going to add another tablespoon of that Chipotle cream mixture, buttermilk. Put my sauce in the classic batter bowl. And I decided with these little bits that is left, remember these peas from the freezer? I think these would make a great side. Into here, chicken broth. ready.
This chipotle sauce and country fried steaks turned out really delicious. Now let's see what our next recipe is.
Remember, we have our brown and serve rolls. We have 3 tablespoons of melted butter here. And we have that sliced provolone, ham and turkey both in the fridge. And this was from the freezer, as well as my rolls was my cilantro pesto I made from scratch. Bake them in the oven for 350, top them with the butter cilantro mixture.
The cilantro pesto made this unique. Basil pesto would have worked just as well, but it was really nice to have a unique flavor and also to use up that pesto.
Our next recipe is sweet potato tangine with pine nut couscous. It's going to be a side dish, and I did buy sweet potatoes, and I did buy these plum tomatoes and cilantro. Everything else was already in our freezer. Remember, this is going to be our main protein, the plant-based burgers, and we're going to serve it with this sweet potato tangine. And we're going to slice our sweet potato with our rapid prep mandolin, which I love because it's so fun and makes the slices so thin. Did the same with an onion, dropped them into the pan with some oil, and now I'm gonna add my seasonings, my ground turmeric, my ground cloves. I have ground cumin, and also adding to the pan ground ginger, as well as ground cinnamon. And all of this is going to give it that Moroccan blend and that seasoning with a little bit of salt. Stir that all together to combine those flavors. And then I'm going to add my 2 Roma tomatoes that I've now chopped and my can of garbanzo beans. The chicken broth, I'm adding that in, the 2 cups, as well as the sliced garlic. I'm just going to stir that up, and I am going to add now my quinoa. Did microwave it for just a few minutes to get it softened, and now I'm going to add a little bit more to help soak up that liquid. Cover it for about 10 minutes, let it simmer, and then I'm going to sprinkle it on top with cilantro. To my air fryer, I'm going to add those grillers, and all I'm trying to do is reheat them because they are already cooked. Now it's ready to plate. This came out so good. That Moroccan quinoa was so delicious. I would make it again. Now let's move on. It's another dinner night, and we're gonna make our stir fry. Our pork stir fry with Asian vegetables and cauliflower rice, as well as our Asian appetizer sampler. So first thing I'm gonna do is just cut our pork chops into bite-sized pieces and add them to a hot pan with oil. I'm gonna get those browned and then add my vegetables, as well as that, remember that zucchini that I had. Good purpose for it. So now I'm going to whip up an egg, as well as sugar-free stir-fry sauce I had on hand, as well as hoisin sauce. A simple, easy meal that turned out great. And now it's time to clean out that freezer. Remember, this is what we started with, and we need to go through drawer by drawer, taking everything out, wiping it all down, and cleaning it all out. Here's the after shot. Everything is now all clean and organized. I am so pleased. I'm ready to start cooking again.